Hello, this is Reverend Ken Wilcox at the Center for Spiritual Living here in beautiful St. Augustine, Florida. I wanted to come and share a story with you that happened to me last week. And I think it nicely illustrates a point from the Bible. And that is the things we name in our lives become power to us. You know, there's a story in Scripture where Spirit allowed Adam to name the animals of the Garden of Eden. And when he gave them the name, he then had dominion over them. In other words, the things in his life that he named became power to him. And that works for us as well. When we name things as good or bad, inspiring or depressing, those things then become power, the law of our lives. Last week I was needing to go up to Atlanta to get a piece of furniture that a friend of mine had gifted me. And that required me driving a big van up in Atlanta traffic. Now, if you haven't driven in Atlanta, it's quite the experience. I think they ought to put up a big billboard right outside the Beltway of Atlanta saying, "This is where Southern hospitality ends." I'm convinced that even if the Dalai Lama had to drive in Atlanta traffic, within 30 minutes, he would be cussing and fuming like the rest of us. So I wasn't really looking forward to the experience. Monday morning, I had to be at the van rental place at 8 o'clock. I got there, and by the time I got there, it was already full of people getting equipment and returning equipment. There were only two young ladies running the whole place, and they were running from one end of that lot to the other. The guy in front of me, he had a big truck, and behind it he had rented one of those big wagons that they have. And they came and got it off the truck. He tried to help them, but they shooed him away. And they pushed that wagon in its spot and just threw it on the ground. When they came back to the office, I told them, I said, "Boy, you showed that wagon who was boss." They both had a good laugh, and the youngest one was soon back into the yard. The young woman that was helping me, I told her, I said, "Y'all are really working hard to keep this place going." And she said, she says, "We're doing the best we can." She says, "But we're very short-staffed." And she says, "I say a prayer to myself each morning that I can make it till lunch without having someone curse me out." It really broke my heart because I was a young person in a job where you didn't get a lot of appreciation. And I know how that feels. So I told her, I said, "Well, it looks like you've got a young assistant that really is helping you out." And she says, "Well, that's my sister." I thought about it for a minute, and I was really contemplating the idea of, would I hire any of my relatives to work with me? And so I told her, I says, "Well, that really says a lot about you that you would hire your sister." And she says, "I wanted to help her out because she's just recently had a pacemaker put in. And my mom just wants to keep her at home and feed her Fruit Loops and watch the Wheel of Fortune with her. But I've told her she's got to get back in life. She's got to get her life going." I thought about that for a while, and it just really gave my heart such a wonderful boost. We look for the example of Christ, but we can often see it exactly where we are. And when we acknowledge it, it becomes power to us. I was able to make half that journey just soaking in the love of the older sister for her youngest sister. And when I got back home, I was sure to write the owner of the van rental place a note telling him how impressed I was. Now, there probably were other people that came in that day who were frustrated by the wait, who were angry about not getting the service that they were expecting. And for those people, that anger and that frustration would become the law of their lives. They had named it. And by naming it, it was going to show back up in their lives, even greater, for Spirit is forever evolving. I named the experience love. And it is law, it is principle, that it will show back up in my life in even greater and more abundant ways. For this is how Spirit works, forever evolving. When we look for our good, we name our good and give gratitude for the good in life. It cannot help but show back up in abundant ways. Spirit is wanting to awe you with the love that's available to you. You were the best idea Spirit had when it created you. It's never been disappointed in you. It's never doubted you. It's never been considered you a failure. In fact, it's always been more impressed with your possibilities than it ever has been upset over your mistakes. So now's the time for us to name the good in our lives and to become that bright light of possibilities that Spirit knows us to be. This is the truth in your life. This is the truth in mine. And so it is.